3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome everyone to Charmed Fantasy's take on the Dungeons of Drakkenheim world setting created by the Dungeon Dudes. We are playing a campaign called Sleepless in Drakkenheim, where we are somehow thriving. If you've watched this far, you've seen the trials and tribulations and sheer luck is the only the aura of luck that we have on our side here. Because I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say those cursed words that we all know. But this episode feels like anything can happen. It's going to be a busted up Mage Tower episode. And who doesn't love the busted up Mage Tower in every campaign setting, every video game, every map they've ever looked at? Here, there be some scary stuff. And yeah, so anyway, welcome. I'm Charm. This is my channel. I'm your humble host. Happy to be a part of a game with some of my favorite people, esteemed friends, brilliant and creative minds, and otherwise just wonderfully goofy personalities. I count myself in good company on any of those. With that, I play Erasmus / Ghost, a young man coming into the fold of his rite of passage through the dangers of Drakkenheim, through the or you could say the trials of surviving and defining the future of this place, if there is one to be seen. He is a apothecary mutagenist, and instead of the typical scientific route, we go spiritual with his litanies instead of formulas. Pretty fun take for me to creatively challenge myself as a perpetual DM to get to be a player. I'm very grateful for that, and you're definitely going to see a multi-class if I get the chance to on a level up. I am praying we live long just for that. It's like the story's incredible, the module's amazing. I just want to see what this class and this class smashed together from this module look like, and it feels good. Like someone walking around stoned in the middle of the night trying to mix their favorite foods together on a sandwich. With that in mind, the most natural transition, of course, would go to any of them. Let's go to Isaac this time.
Hello, yeah, I'm Isaac. I'm Conflux Creatures on Patreon. I'm Conflux Dice with my wife, and I run Our Better Monsters on Reddit. I make just an unconscionable number of monsters, thousands of them. And I'm playing Phales the Curious, a magical explorer and a student of the occult and the arcane. Just really trying to cram as much into his brain as possible, though without any particular talent for the application. Or so it seemed, but he seems quite good with this delirium stuff. On to you, Laurie.
Absolutely, we're liking it. Hey, stumbling along as we are and all still alive. Hi, I'm Laurie, and I am playing Ryan Deline. Ryan is a half-elf cosmic warlock, totally digging that, and she's learning to navigate Drakkenheim with an eye particularly towards slaying monsters, helping her team, and finding out what sort of mysteries and treasure exist in the haze. And we are currently in the haze at the tower. Gonna be spicy.
Spicy as you're cooking. Yeah, I just constantly think how if Drakkenheim ever had a Benihana's, you would be there. But with that said, our amazing Dungeon Master, Story Weaver, and person piloting the module, like you'd expect the top tier Gundam pilots of the future, it is a very plugged in Josh Henderson. That's your name now. Josh plugged in Henderson.
Was it the red comet? Char Aznable? Yeah.
Your next tattoos are just like ports.
Yeah.
Like, just like
sweet.
Take it away.
Hello everybody. Welcome back. We are getting weird and wild here in Sleepless in Drakkenheim. These three miscreants, B and ears, quite frankly, have kicked in the door of the inscrutable tower, the house of the Amethyst Academy. Long abandoned after the fall of Drakkenheim. And I have a standing desk now. You notice this is much taller. We're at a different angle. I will probably lower it a little bit because I will not stand for 4 hours or however long this goes.
As we get higher in the tower, you'll get shorter.
Yeah. I'm gonna go like this. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So last time we visited the Queen's Feast, which was Ryan's the line house of food, their home, as well as their restaurant and catering, where they catered many meals for the royal family and the queen herself. And they visited and noticed that it was entirely ransacked, graffiti along the walls. Very desiccated is a word that comes to mind when talking about that. With the recipe of the queen's favorite meal written on the walls, and a phrase mocking the supposed title of Ryan's family's eatery on the broken mirror. Making note of that and doing a little bit of understanding of where that possibly would come from, and a creature or being who calls himself the Lord of the Feast. They set out towards the inscrutable tower with that new knowledge in mind, as it is basically next door. They fought their way through the plaza, the Academy Plaza out front with a teleportation circle. I should note, because now you have kind of left that area, that teleportation circle is still active. It is still a thing that you can interact with, which is important if you can teleport, which I don't think any of you can. But
Not yet.
Not yet.
But
We're
just
babies.
as a fun thing, it definitely still is active, and you can use it should you want to use it. So, managed to dispel magic on the front door to get in, and the doors open and closed behind you, and you find yourselves in the lobby of the inscrutable tower, and that's where we're going to go ahead and kick off. I'm going to go ahead
Before we really hop in, you said there were a bunch of delirium crystals growing up around that pool outside.
Yes.
Can I scoop those up? Are they scoopable?
They're not scoopable. You'd have to. They're big. Not. I wouldn't say. I'm gonna say not carryable. Let's put it that way. Now you can knock pieces off of it.
Oh
right?
boy.
But this is, and I will add this on.
There's an art to breaking.
Not even
delirium.
that. It's not even like you need an art. I think there is an art, but you don't really need it. There is a bunch of delirium crystals like near the crater, and you've kind of seen that area, and it's almost like a massive forest of crystals. So the larger crystals are not necessarily mega rare. They're only in a couple places, this being one of them. But they're really heavy, and so to get them out would be like a big challenge. But you could just smash them, Like if you really wanted a huge shard of delirium, you can just smash it, but it'll take a minute. So.
Okay. Do I know some of the safety concerns with smashing delirium?
I would say that the tools that you use against it probably won't last very long, which means that you're probably going to have a good number of tools, or tools that can last against delirium farming. Otherwise, everyone would have farmed them already.
Yeah, well, I mean, out of character, I know there's some other issues, right?
Yeah, there is. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. You might have, if you have it readily pulled up, what does yours say? I'm looking for mine right now.
Okay. I'm close. I don't think I'm quite there.
Here we go.
I'm right in the area where the rules are.
Yeah. So, yes. So there are. I have it right here. Problems.
Delirium harvesting. Yeah, there we go.
Yes. So it takes 10 times as long. Part of the problem with delirium is out of character. This is mechanically. They are immune to every type of non-magical attack, and obviously they're not living, so no necrotic, no poison, no psychic.
Okay,
They're resistant to all the other types of damage, with the exception being they are vulnerable to bludgeoning, so you can hit it with a hammer. But they're resistant to
you can't.
everything else.
Yeah, so it can't be mined unless it's in an anti-magic field.
Well, exactly. Well, so it can.
You'd have to get the whole crystal up, right?
Yes,
like if you did
exactly,
crystal, then it becomes worthless and doesn't work anymore.
Exactly. It also does explode.
Yeah.
So that's like another thing.
So
it doesn't
just
like
explodes and you don't get delirium at the end.
Yeah. So you got to throw down the anti-magic shield. You got to mine it there and then carry that out, which is not not a bad way to do it, but you are really far.
Right, but that does require us to be like 15th level. So
it's a bit spicy, yeah.
And these are all of the size that could not be pulled out in one piece, because anything that can be pulled out in one piece already has been.
Yeah, well, exactly. And if you tried to grab something that could technically be like wiggled free, it'd be very heavy, and you'd be struggling pretty heavily to do so.
Yeah, actually, could I make an investigation check to see if there's like something that previous pickers that have come through here have decided was too heavy to bother with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, that is a 7 plus. That is an 11.
11. On an initial check, it seems that most crystals here
pretty thoroughly mixed through.
Too big. There's a couple that seem like they'd be like okay, but you don't know how far down they go, right?
Okay.
So you could be they could be huge underground.
Investment of time and danger to find out whether those are extractable.
And it's a solid 50-50. It's Schrodinger's delirium crystal going on here.
Okay, very cool. I'm gonna go back in because that's not what we're here for.
Good check. Great. Okay, so as you enter the lobby, I'm going to go ahead and read this fantastic. There's a lot of really cool descriptions in the tower, so we're going to be hearing a couple of them. So, the front door is leading to a massive lobby that fills the tower base. The ceiling is nearly 50 feet high and supported by obsidian pillars etched with intricate sigils. The floor is reflective marble decorated with intricate arcane patterns. Rows of tall, thin vents along the outer walls form transparent openings, allowing a viewing of Drakkenheim outside. On two opposite sides of the lobby are 3 sets of metallic double doors, and railingless spiral metal staircases of metal and glass wrap around the upper floors on each corner. Throughout the rest of the room are chest-high stone dividing walls that form semi-private meeting areas with metallic chairs and glass-topped tables. Bobbling motes of spectral light strip through the air, illuminating the chamber with a soft arcane light. So, as you kind of enter this space, you can kind of see, think like not full cubicles, but like half cubicles. Like cubicles being a tiny section. Right? These are much bigger, tiny sections. So maybe like 6 cubicles put together is a pretty good example.
Do these seem these are like this is a place primarily for reception, or is this also a active like arcane working space?
It looks like it's more of a reception, and usually with these things, as you kind of know, is that the first impressions are always intended, especially when it comes to wizards, always intended to be awe. And so this is supposed to be like a place to in modern day, for our purposes, like grab coffee and be in the lounge of like a massive tech company, right? It inspires a little bit of awe, and you're like, oh, but it's also kind of cool, and it's supposed to be kind of neat and approachable, right? And so that's kind of the vibe, is that you look up and you're like, wow, that's a really tall ceiling. Also, those staircases are literally made from crystal and glass that is spun together with copper. That's wild. Also, what a cool little meeting area, you know? Yeah. And so,
like crystal and glass staircase with no railing, because if you're afraid of falling, you don't belong here.
100%. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. That's absolutely the vibe. It's like there's a slide in the corner, right? And there's no protection in the slide. It's just the slide.
It's a startup. There's a slide coming down.
Yeah. It gets weird, you know.
Got it. We hear the wizards playing ping pong up top.
Yeah. But as you walk in, there's I think a heavy silence that fills this area because there's not a lot of, and by not a lot of I mean there's literally zero life in this room. There's no wind that blows through here. It's very stale air. Obviously there's still light, but you know there's not a lot of comings and goings, and so it's not very kept up.
From the stale air, would I assume that there is some kind of sealed division between this and the midsection of the tower that is open to the elements?
I mean, I would say so, but I would also make the assumption that even if there isn't, there would still be stale air this far from the opening.
Okay.
It's a pretty far climb to the opening, so it's not like it's one level up. You know what I mean? So it
seems like the kind of place that would have been refreshed and perfumed by magic, and those enchantments might have just kind of failed over time.
Oh yeah, because wizards definitely are not going to stand. You know, they're not going to get their meeting hall time in a dank, stale-aired basement. That's just not the vibe.
Or something ventilated by something as pedestrian as windows.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, they literally have like transparent one-way glass, quote unquote, that looks outside that they can't open because the air outside is pedestrian. So we're gonna go ahead and fill it up with our own air that is lightly lavender scented.
Each tower has its own unique smell, like the really nice hotels, or maybe in the gift shop there's like a candle that's like the inscrutable tower scent. Or I can see it.
Okay, so I'm going to just kind of turn and brief everybody because I don't know what they've got here, but you know, I've read some books on traps. Yeah, so
this is amazing.
Anytime we're doing something that we are not authorized to do as strangers to the tower, we should expect swift and sudden reprisal from the tower itself. And just kind of move with that expectation.
Would that be everything we're doing in here?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I was gonna say. Is like as you mentioned that, you hear in that stillness and that stale air, and I think Ryan, you mentioned you're like, isn't entering this space isn't like that kind of breach in the contract. You hear these like footsteps. They don't seem to be coming towards you exactly, but they are almost like aimlessly wandering through the area, and you look around, and they're like, because the stone like dividers are like chest high, and you could see across kind of where you are as you kind of finally, you know, your eyes adjust to the light inside here. You see that there are 4 guardians, like almost like stone or metal guardians, just kind of aimlessly wandering around in this chamber. And they're getting pretty close to you. You have probably about one thing that you can do. If you guys want to keep talking, you can.
Can we move to one of these like little workspaces and hide there?
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and roll like stealth, we can.
That would that'd be the first thing. As soon as we see that, I don't even think we'd have to even notify each other. It's like hide.
Yeah, because it's a pretty obvious thing. It's like a very oppressive, like stale air. There's no movement, and you just hear.
No. As soon as we hear that, Bry's got a 24, so she is
19 plus 2 for me for a 21.
Nice. Okay.
Disadvantage.
Grabbing failies. Come on down here.
Let's see. That is 11.
11. Okay.
Very good. Yeah.
Grabbing ghost. So come on.
What'd you get, Rhea, on your stuff?
I was a 24, 18,
24, okay.
And 6. Yeah, 24.
Yeah, so you kind of look around and you notice these larger guardians, and you kind of quickly duck underneath into one of the little like meeting areas.
I'm still large size.
That'll be fine. I mean, you're big, but like these are not. Okay. They're like chest high. And if you
that
like,
was during
duck,
the fight, right? Like,
well, I imagine outside of the fight, we haven't had time.
Well, I guess you were large when we pushed the door in,
right?
So, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Been like
I know the time.
30 seconds.
It's been a week, and I know he's been describing, which feels like the passage of time while playing, but no time has passed.
Right.
Yeah, it's been like a solid 30, 45 seconds.
Okay, so I've got about 3 more rounds of being this size then. Yeah.
Yeah. So
boom, we're hiding.
that's our attempt to hide.
Yep.
And you said they were coming closer.
Well, they're not coming closer. Isn't like they saw you and are walking towards you. They're just kind of aimlessly.
I was just kind of assuming their
wandering.
patrol came through here at some point.
Patrol is not really the word that I would use. It's very aimless. They literally just kind of like walk. They reach a section, it seems, and you can kind of take a minute to look at these. They
So more like Roombas.
Kind of like the constructs that we encountered at our tower.
Very similar.
Just
yeah, they're not the same. They're not the same type. These ones seem a little, obviously, more advanced. But yeah, very, very, very similar. It seems as though they are set to patrol, but not in a set way. Like, it seems like a guard this level kind of command, as opposed to patrol this particular way.
Do I know much about golem craft in general? Just sort of by what means, like what sort of orders these things can be given, or like what sort of mechanism they're using to perceive the world. Like how they might distinguish authorized from unauthorized visitors.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go ahead and roll. I'm torn between Arcana and History. I will let you choose.
I think the same for me. So let's give it a swing.
So go ahead and roll that, whichever one you want, and tell me which one it is.
That's a 19 Arcana.
Yeah, I think the ones that you saw on the clock tower were a little bit different. And those seemed like, to use like Star Wars vibes, like maintenance droids.
Yeah.
Right? Like those were like the ones that you use to help move stuff or clean stuff or put stuff together or lift heavy things. These are like, they are given purpose by a wielder of the magic that created them. And there's always a like a focus of their magic. And their base, like action, like what they are created to do is defend the person who holds this focus. Additionally, on top of that, they can be given other commands of like guard or kill anyone who comes in here or.
I mean, could you? Is it the sort of creature that you could give a complex natural language command to, or would it be something like guard this area of the tower? Here are definitions of what guarding means and who you're guarding it from.
I think it could be given. I would say semi-complex. I don't think you could be like defend this particular thing against everything except for rat people. I don't know if that necessarily fits, but it would definitely be like guard this area, except for anyone except for mages that come in, or anyone except for me who comes in.
Is there a way to find subhuman resources and talk to them?
Yeah. And their senses are they operating on a light basis? Are they seeing like, do I recognize this person, or are they kind of like wirelessly interfacing with a magical signet that identifies a person?
It seems as though there's no one else in the room or no thing else in the room that you can see here. So it seems that they would be wirelessly. It's not like they are, walking around and then going to a spot to commune in this. Oh no,
I just kind of meant that, like, in general, a construct like this, if you're telling it, keep unauthorized people out, are like, does that mean keep people you don't recognize out that I haven't designated as valid people, or keep people who don't have an authorization token out?
Oh,
like, or could it be either?
It's hard to say.
Okay.
And especially from where you are, it's hard to tell if there is that level of specificity to the command. Because you're just seeing these things walk around, and you just know that they can be given instructions like that. And it could be as complicated as that, but usually it's a magical item that can be scanned or checked for, or they would have to recognize them, so it would be sight based. It's hard to tell if these ones are in that camp.
And to double check my understanding of the space, right?
Yeah.
There's this big kind of entry space. There's the two staircases kind of snaking up the walls,
Mhm.
and the pillars. There's two doors on this level on the rear wall. Is that
There
right?
are
3 and 3.
3 and 3. Yes. So
Oh, 3 doors on each side. Okay.
yeah, 3 doors on each side.
Oh, right, 2 sets. I see.
Yeah, exactly. And
are the patrolling constructs in this space, or do I hear them through the like on the other side of the doors?
you can see only 4 of them in this space, and it's hard to tell. Like you can hear them through the doors above. It's too far for you to be able to tell, like if they're through the doors.
And from the time that we've been watching them, are they specifically staying in the lobby, or are they scooting out to go into other rooms?
There doesn't seem to be any other rooms except the ones at the staircase, and they're not going up the staircase.
I'm gonna turn to the two of you. Okay, so we are going to attract the attention of these things eventually. It would be great if that happened at a point when we were not already surrounded by other dangers.
Oh, I'm sorry. The doors on the are not up the staircase, but they're not going to the doors. I'm sorry. Okay. So there are staircases that spiral up, but they don't go
and
to
the
the doors.
are
They just go up. The doors are on the ground floor. There's 3 on each side.
Okay.
And the automatons or whatever are not approaching them at all.
What do we think about trying to take the most defensible position that we can, and if we can pull these into a choke point, that might.
As you're saying that, I shrink down back to my normal self.
That's fair.
Like just Anyway, I'm listening.
That's fair. So if it all right, doesn't look like there's a way for us to get past them.
Right.
All right. Let's figure out how to go through them then.
I mean, we could get past them. We genuinely could, but then we'd be past them.
Then yeah,
and they'd still be here. And I think we are trying to.
But could you see if your cat could lure them out the door and we lock them out?
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Because
if we lock them out, there's a good chance they won't be there when we get back. It's Drakkenheim.
Right.
I could try to make some. I could try to make some noise outside to see if that attracts them.
I don't want to send Melancholy over there alone. But
I can send.
No, the two of you stay. It's a heavy door. I've got it right. So
What?
I'm actually going to attempt to sneak over to the door and just open the door.
Which one? Sorry. Which door?
Open the front door that we came through.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it still opens. It's only been like a minute or so you can still go outside.
Okay, yeah. Could I? Do I have minor illusion? That would be super helpful here. I do not. Okay.
You've seen me use it if you need it.
Yeah.
Okay. So one fun option that we could do is leave the door open. The fight starts. We pull the fight out, and then we run in and slam the door. Because I feel like they're probably commanded not to leave this space chasing things. But if it's a fight, they might do.
Right.
We could try to lure them.
But, I mean... Could we try the first part first and see if that works? And if they don't go for it, then we ourselves will lure them out?
We could have Melancholia here, right? They would move over to shoo her away, and then she'd be shooed away, and that would bring her into this space near the door.
Right.
But I don't know how we get them through the door without a threat to chase. And I don't have illusions prepared.
I could create some sort of a small illusion, whether it's a sound, what do we think might draw their attention? At least we can see if they do go outside or how they behave when they do hear a distraction.
Oh, I do have an idea.
Hmm.
Does it? Oh, yes. I I have a spell that's wonderfully effective against constructs. Um, however, we would need to lure them into one place, and also I'll need both of you to look away.
All right. Well,
All
so
right.
do we start with what sort of a sound do you think they might be drawn to
Well,
outside the door?
we wouldn't need to draw them outside for that. We could just draw them
Okay.
into one place in the
Draw them
center.
to the place.
It's
Okay.
the spell I used to uh, subdue the manticores that we fought a while ago.
Oh,
Um,
oh.
I think that would be ruinously effective
Hmm.
on them, um,
They were good.
and
They were good jerky.
we could just
All right.
shoo them outside. Well, what's this door look like? Like, what's the opening mechanism on it? We pushed it to enter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of it. It literally just opens. I mean,
And
you
these,
know,
and
I
these
don't know.
constructs are slightly larger than a man. You said.
I'd probably say about 10 feet, give or take.
10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're large size. If that
Are they
helps.
are they very heavily built?
They are. They look like they're built for some type of defense or some type of guard. You know,
I'm sorry,
they're
I'm less
thick.
excited.
If they
Are they-
had any strong anti-magical protections, would I expect any element of that to be visible?
I would say-
Certainly there would be ways to make it non-visible,
Right,
but would the
right.
cheapest way to do that be visible?
I would say no, but
Hmm.
it would be expensive to make these like resistant to magic, and so it's the cost analysis of these seem like guards.
Yeah,
And do
these
you
are
put guards in like fancy, especially in the lobby, like in fancy
Yeah.
gear, or
they're guarding the lobby, the front door. What
Yeah.
kind of self-respecting wizard is coming in the front door?
Yeah.
These are probably meant to keep out angry mobs. That's
Yeah.
kind of my
yeah,
thought process.
it definitely gives the vibe of anti-riffraff, is what it gives.
Okay,
the vibe.
anti-riff. Excellent.
Wow.
Excellent. We're riffraff, and I know just what to do about this.
Yeah, anti you three.
All right. All right, Felice, it sounds like you've got an idea. You
Yeah.
let us know what you want us to do. Ghost, you good?
I don't have a I don't have a lot of resources for a lot of fighting left. Maybe one more big oomph in me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna consult Melancholia, to see if like how she would feel about stepping into the open and luring these, and then disappearing into the space between worlds, when they come close.
So, I've had this question about Melancholia for a while. Is Melancholia a summoned feline or like?
She's a real feline, right? Which I have formed a familiar bond with.
Great. Okay.
Which should allow me to do familiar stuff with her.
Right. Yeah.
But
It-
Whoa.
yeah.
I don't. Sorry, I don't know. I don't rightly know whether that would extend to, and then she'd be okay if she got hurt.
And that was the core of my question. Was like,
Actually,
You
would
know-
I know that? Like, would I have a sense of that? I understand that you haven't quite decided that in your own head yet.
yeah,
but
I think, and that was kind
I
of
kind of like it better if she doesn't have that sort of protection.
well. So that's kind of where I landed. It's like you specifically made a familiar, familial bond. I guess would be the term.
Familial would be family, right? So I think just familiar.
familiarly ish, whatever bond. To
In the comments,
this-
type what word you
yeah.
would use.
Enjoy our new dictionary coming out next month.
Yeah.
To this creature, right? You found this creature, you made this bond, your magic extends to this creature, That being said, I don't think that the physical form of Melancholia would survive if Melancholia was destroyed in some way.
Cool.
You fireballed her or whatever. Like I don't think Melancolia's physical form would be, but I think the essence of Melancholia would and could be transferred. If you need it to be. But I think, her ability to kind of step between worlds and stuff. So I think there's a hesitation if you're trying to convince. There would be a hesitation of like, I actually am a living creature. I don't particularly want to go and put myself in harm's way.
No, I'm gonna note that hesitation. And yeah, no worries. Just I'm going to step out in the open in my Amethyst Academy robes. And just hello, reception, hello.
I need everybody roll initiative.
Yep.
Actually, you two are still hiding. Failing.
I guess I'm just kind of still near the door where I just opened it.
Okay. Yeah. So you're.
And how far away are these creatures?
So that's what I was just trying to figure out in my brain. Let's say 60 feet.
Okay.
How wide was this lobby again?
You said 50 feet across total.
50 feet tall.
Oh, 50 feet tall, right.
Yeah. How high was it? Let's see. We'll give an estimate from that. 150 feet wide. So let's say 100 feet wide inside. So I'll say, let's say 60 to 90 feet away from you are all four.
Okay, but between 60 and 90 feet away. I like if you're
standing by the door, if you're standing like by the front door.
Yeah, like if we're kind of like in an initiative-y kind of situation where there's not like any surprise happening, can I sort of have the effect of the dodge action as I'm just sort of waving, just
sure.
Like as I'm ready to duck any hurled furniture?
Absolutely. Okay. So you can definitely because this is your action that you are taking to kind of initiate this. Yeah, you can definitely do dodge.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna communicate, like stay hidden until I get caught or pop off.
I just rolled 3 threes. What? That's not great. That's horrible. It makes me
so much.
So sad. No, it really doesn't. But like I'm upset that I rolled that many threes. It just doesn't bode well for the rest of my rolls. Okay, cool. So going into initiative, Feliz, what is your roll?
21 for me.
21. Okay, that's far more than 3. So you definitely go first.
Cool. I am just still waving and like preparing to dodge if I need to, and just trying to present myself as the guy that I am. Of a wizard who has poked his nose somewhere he doesn't belong, but isn't necessarily attacking.
Just a guy.
Just a guy.
Let's see. Okay. All right, then all 4 of them are going to go. Okay. I thought I clicked that. I did not. Okay. Okay. On their turn, and it's I'm grouping them together until the other 2 of you come in. That's just, it makes it much easier. The first one is far in the back, about 90 feet away, is going to start to run forward through the kind of maze of everything. This is a threatening action, just to kind of give a heads up. It is very much like, halt, you're under arrest kind of vibes.
Yeah.
But gets to, 60 feet away, so runs the full 30 feet, kind of skids to a stop, and then immediately raises its hands and spins them, and a wall of fire, a foot thick, just encircles you and closes the door off around you. Spins around you. The other one,
him.
75, about 75 feet away, again, runs forward, so a little bit closer than the other one. Essentially, they're just moving up. Kind of skids to a stop as well, with no there's no mouth to speak of, so no vocation comes out. Raises their hand again, in a massive. You are standing in what is essentially a ring of fire, and then inside that ring of fire, a cone of sleet and ice starts to encapsulate you. This is a spell that you know, just ice storm. Just fully encapsulate you while you're standing inside this wall of fire.
Is the storm contained within the ring of fire?
It is contained within the ring of fire.
Damn, I'm not cool with that.
The other two just full dash and are now standing outside the ring of fire, just kind of standing. So you two who are hiding, you kind of see all this happen. It happens immediately. You can act. It is now the end of the initiative, so you can act however you would like. But now you see two kind of hulking guardians standing outside this massive wall of fire, and within this massive wall of fire is a cone of a wall of or ice storm. I'm gonna need a couple rolls from you, Phales.
Yeah.
One roll. Which is Dex.
The ice storm one. Yeah. I have an advantage because dodge action. Come on, worked out.
Yeah.
That's a natural 20.
We love to see it. We love to see it. Yeah. So you take
for a total of 22.
Half damage on that, which is very good because it was not going to be a fun one. And do you prefer? And this is a player preference, and I have my preference, but I would like to know everyone else's preferences. Do you prefer that I roll half the die or half the damage?
Oh, I like full die, half damage.
Yeah.
Same.
I prefer that too.
I think Ice Storm might be something wonky too, like 5d8 or something like that. I don't know.
It's 2d8 and 4d6.
Oh, right, yeah. Extra wonky,
Super
but
weird.
still divisible.
Yeah. So 6 bludgeoning damage, and way higher than I wanted that to be. I'm going to be honest with you. 10 cold damage.
Okay.
So outside of the wall of fire and ice storm that has now this song of ice and fire that has taken place in the lobby of this tower, the two of you just see Phales just, hello, I am lost, and just whoom, just go up in elements as these metal stone arcane creatures run up to the circle and just kind of stand and wait.
It's the way he wanted to go. Let's take advantage and go up the stairs.
Now,
goodbye.
Have you seen?
He looks dead from any perspective
Well,
of
that's
a
what I'm
wall
saying.
of
Like, he's
fire.
gone.
And
Like,
a
he's
vortex
like
of wall.
disappeared. Yeah.
And we're not going to be next in line for this inheritance of suck.
Now they they've sort of like run up to have they kind of clustered up a little bit.
There's only two that have moved fully because they dashed all the way to you.
So there were the two that cast spells that are further back now.
Yeah. They're sub 60 from you. Distance wise, like the two that cast spells are like sub 60, but greater than 40. The other two are like from you 10 feet, maybe 5-10 feet. They're outside the wall of fire and the ice storm.
Okay,
so I guess with that they would be 20 feet from you because the ice storm radius is 20 feet, and then the wall of fire radius.
Okay, so if they're 20 feet back, right? Does that put them within 30 feet of the other two?
It puts them in 30 feet.
The point of revealing myself rather than attacking was to get them to cluster up a little bit.
Yeah. So there are 3 that are clumped. There's one that's going to be just outside, depending on what you're trying to do and where you're going to place this thing.
Okay, cool. I'm going to shout, "Look away!" And I am going to weave the Elder Sign. And I just a burning iridescent sigil is going to flare one line at a time into the air, burning itself into the eyes of anyone who's looking. and I'm going to need intelligence saving throws from each of them. It does not matter if they're immune to charmed.
They are dumb. That's terrible. Wow, they're actually really dumb. Oh my god.
Oh, Ghost, did you hear that? He's still alive.
Honestly, I would roleplay it as I would hear that voice turn and look to see if he's still alive. Because I was so sure he died. Because I've seen Felias get like.
I'm getting the three that are furthest away. So the two that cast the spell, and one of the ones that dashed.
Okay, great. What is
I'm
the
probably
save throw?
pulling you down.
It's a DC 15 intelligence.
Okay, they all failed.
Lovely. Were those two concentrating?
This one.
Well, I think.
No, only one of them was, but the other spell instantly died down.
Okay, so the ground is just icy now, right?
Yes.
But the circle of flames dies down.
Does it instantly cancel the concentration, or do I? Is that?
Oh yeah, they can't. They're incapacitated. I don't think they can concentrate right now.
Okay, yeah. If they're incapacitated, then yeah, they definitely would lose the concentration. Okay, great. Yeah. So you see, Felias cast this sigil, which I think kind of cool, like kind of writes in this way that you can see it through the sleet and the fire. It almost just looks like writing in the sky that kind of you can see almost like it's written on the elements as you cast it.
I think you guys kind of see it with your eyes closed too.
Yeah, it's definitely some like eldritch nonsense.
I feel like I need to roll an intelligence saving throw because I was going to say I would think he was dead, hear his voice, turn and look. And it's one of those things that's not important what he's saying.
You're not in the area, but you might still be affected by it a little bit, like if you want to roll the save.
I was just saying, like, if there is a way to acknowledge what my character would do and then the consequences be dictated, but I wouldn't look away upon hearing the man I think just died in an instant is, like, I wouldn't be like, I'd truly just be like, he lived?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Let's have you roll the intelligence save just for fun, and I don't think you'll get the full consequences of it because I think like
18.
as I was saying,
outside the area.
Yeah,
it's something.
Yeah. Let's say because you stared at it for fun, let's do a -2 on your initiative roll. As you roll initiative to jump.
Yeah, I think each of these marks that makes up the sigil, like you can feel it as it flares into existence, like just nails on a chalkboard, just reverberating through your bones with its wrongness.
Daytime television.
My only weakness.
Excitingly, I'm not in the area of it this time.
Yay!
Glorious.
Because I've got my full 30 feet of vision.
Nice.
Fantastic. Yeah. So you see the kind of sleet storm cylinder dissipate. Kind of falls to the ground. You see the floor around is icy, which immediately melts because of the heat from the wall of fire. And as you kind of trace this sigil into the sky, your feet start to get wet. The boots, where your boots are touching the water starts to get a little bit wet. As you cast that, you see all three of the guards you cast it on just kind of like, and just kind of go, what seems to be powered down, and the wall of fire just slowly.
And I have a question. Does the Misty Step mutation?
Yes.
Is that the effect of Misty Step, or is it casting Misty Step?
It is the effect of Misty Step, from my understanding. So I think it's literally just free Misty Steps. Let me quadruple check, because it was really cool.
Yeah.
Let me quadruple check here because I thought it was really, really neato. How do I zoom in? Can I zoom in?
It says you can cast Misty Step.
Oh, is that what it says on it? Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay, so I won't do that then.
Still pretty cool.
But I am going to...
Oh, that's an arcane anomaly. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you cast Misty Step. Yeah.
You said the ground around me is icy. Does it count as difficult terrain?
It's not icy. It's wet now.
Oh, it's just wet now. Yeah, I am going to hightail it 30 feet directly away from the one that's still got all his faculties and try to move behind one of these obsidian pillars.
Okay, yeah, great. Pretty quick and easy. You know, you're 20 feet away from him, so you just book it.
You see a charred and drenched
Right.
Bailey's like sprinting out of the maelstrom. They're like, all right, open your eyes now. There's still one of them.
Phales, you good? That was amazing. Go,
Oh, he's coming for me. Get him. And
Okay.
that's
Okay, we're gonna go with their turn, and then I'm gonna let the two of you jump in. And we're gonna take a quick break after the end of this turn because I have to go take care of something real quick. But we'll do this real fast. There's literally only one, so it's gonna be fast. I think the other guy is just gonna run after you. I think he's going
is he gonna dash or
he's gonna dash. So he's gonna fully rush you.
He skids around the pillar just looming over me.
Yeah, that's exactly. You make my ability like, oh, I made it, and then it's the like the almost like the Lord of the Rings vibe where there's just like tension, and then you just see this like huge monstrous golem guardian just turn the corner, all armor and arcane energy.
Love it.
Great. So let's get these initiative rolls on the board. We'll take a quick break, like maybe a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back. We'll kick it off with full initiatives.
Got it. I'm a whopping 8.
Okay.
I am a 16.
16. Did you do the -2? Great. Gorgeous. Thank you very much. Okay. So Rand split.
That was
those.
awesome.
Great. Okay. So we will go take a quick break. Be right back. For you guys, it'll probably be no time at all. So, back in a second. Oh wow! You were still defending Erasmus with your chicken.
The magic tower is so random.
That's amazing. It's like
Just
wild
like
magic.
tower.
Is
It's
that
just
chicken?
like what was you gonna say, Laurie? Sorry.
What was I gonna say? Sorry, is that chicken pig, sir?
Chicken pig, TM. No, this reminds me of the wild magic. If you know if it is wild magic, the tower of was it Neverwinter Nights?
Oh yeah.
One of the OG D&D, like one of the old D&D games, and there is a wild magic tower that anytime anything or you cast a spell, something really ridiculous happens, and they set you up to fight I think a Balor or Pit Fiend, I can't remember, but there's a chance, a big non-zero chance that when the Pit Fiend goes to cast its spell at you, it turns into a chicken, because that's one of the things that can happen. So like, gives you a chance to get the hell out of there.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're back. I have lowered my desk for your astute observers. My legs got tired, so here we are. I might stand it up later when things get really spicy, but we'll see. Great. So we're gonna come back. Phales had just narrowly avoided being froze melted in a combination of ice storm and wall of fire, and then fled to one of the obsidian pillars, quickly followed by one of the guardians. And now we have a full initiative order, and we're starting from the top. So Phales, that brings us to you. You are now staring down the gruesome mug of one of the guardians within 580 melee distance. To around this obsidian pillar.
Oh. Is there any kind of intervention I could make in this construct's physiology that it wouldn't like? I'm not like trying to attack it necessarily. I'm trying to think of it from the perspective of like, as a person who makes stuff, what would I hate it if someone did to my creation? Like, is there like a modular part of this with a quick release, anything like that? Is there somewhere where something could be jammed that would be problematic for its
Like,
range of motion?
All you need to do is give Isaac a picture of this thing's art, and he will have all the
Seriously?
answers.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I don't want to take too much license in terms of like circumventing the mechanics of the thing, but also I really like it when there's a way that things work and I can intervene in it. So like is there anything about this that seems like oh I have an idea. What's sort of like the construction of its armor, right? Do I see moving parts within the armor, or is it fully encased and kind of a black box?
It kind of seems fully encased.
Okay.
So it's not a like automaton in the sense of there's moving parts.
Okay.
It's an automaton in the sense of it's moving without being.
Yeah,
humanoid
it's something
in a second.
moved by magic one way or another.
100%.
But
And
it's not the sort with like delicate parts.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. Is that it literally just looks like an animated suit of armor. Is kind of a good way to put it.
Okay.
So it comes down to more, I think, rudimentary situations than, I think you're looking for. Like you can remove a leg and it'll move half as fast.
It'll keep well, maybe, but it might also just hover around.
Well, yeah.
The walking animation might just be for show.
It's going to be updated in the next patch.
Does for an animated armor, does it look like it actually used to be is it designed to look like a real suit of armor entirely, or is it just sort of close to that?
So I'd say it's probably just close to that. Like animated armor isn't probably.
There's no gaps that a hand could get in.
Oh no, you could definitely get like a hand in the gaps. Like it's not animate armor in the sense of it animated a suit of armor. It looks like this creation, this golem, was put together specifically for this.
Okay, yeah.
The proportions of this do not fit a human.
But there is empty space within that a brave person could put a hand into.
Yes, you could in theory put if you were super brave, you could definitely fit your hand in there. There is a risk of it being like, if it moved suddenly, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that would be a problem. I imagine there is some tough metal plates closing together with a hand in there would be a problem. I would like to dive a hand in there holding the immovable rod.
Okay. Sick.
You want a attack roll or a contested roll?
Oh, I kind of.
I'm shooting a gap, right?
Go ahead and do sleight of hand.
Okay.
And I will do a dex save.
Ooh, I love it.
And we'll see what that yields to.
That's a 10 on my sleight of hand.
A 10. I rolled a 17 on the die.
Okay, I bet he doesn't have -8 to his dex. So I'm gonna dive forward with that with the immovable rod and completely fail to get in there. Well, I tried, and I'm going to Misty Step away and sprint the rest of the way to see if I can get behind another one of these pillars.
Great. So yeah, you essentially just trying to jam your hand into. I'm gonna say like there's a big opening between like the girdle armor and the leg, the upper leg, like the thigh.
Yeah.
And there's a massive area that you can just kind of like shove your hand and then immovable rod in there. And you miss, you just punch it in the thigh, and it just kind of goes ding. You're like, oh crap! And you just misty step backwards, and as you misty step, you land and you start to run behind another pillar. Great, that is your turn. That brings us to Erasmus. So you are now in combat. You are probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, I'd say about 30 feet away, between 15 and 30 feet away from 3 of these different guardians in kind of spread out areas, but they're all within this like 30-foot kind of circle.
Ignore the stunned ones.
And those are the ones that are shut down. And then the other one that is chasing Thales. So how long does the effect that you have last?
It lasts
a minute?
It lasts for a minute.
Okay, great. So, 10 rounds or something? Cool. So these ones are fully like incapacitated, shut down. They're not sparking or anything. They're just kind of like, their heads are kind of tilted and they just kind of like hang there. And the other one is actively trying to chase Thales.
So Erasmus is like, Erasmus as a young and very like tightly woven part of this team, just thought for a moment that it's possible that Thales died, and then sees him in the most brave and like top dog context we have ever seen Phales in. Like Phales is like, is it the Mage Tower? Is it Maybelline? I don't know. But he is looking at in rare form, and because of both the sense of almost loss that Erasmus, like shuts out immediately, and then feels probably 12 from 6 seconds to 12 seconds, is feeling the sense of what he almost just lost in a friend and mentor he trusts. He's going to want to help him in exactly the way he tried to help himself. The Phales tried to help himself. So he's going to call out, "Toss it to me. I'll do what you're trying to do. I could do it, Phales." And I'm going to run towards the thing head on.
That was just that's probably not going to be helpful at all.
I can do it, Phales.
Just smash it. I just wanted him not to chase me. You being there is just as effective.
In that case, I'm going to get ready to smash.
All right.
As I'm running towards it, hands like a receiver, getting ready to catch something that he's not going to throw. And at the last moment, bonus action, transform Hulk punch.
Sick. All right. Let's get it. Yeah, go ahead and roll that. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So not with all the cool extra dice stuff, because that stuff isn't still on me, right?
Yeah.
All right. 1 second here. Apologize, because I was on the wrong page. I was looking at spells. And here, like a fool, I have to go back to my other stuff. Okay. Foolish mortal. All right. That is a 22 to hit.
Nice. Yep, that hits.
Excellent. Excellent. And then damage is... Let me see what I need to add to it, because it's been a week.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. All right. Okay. So that's going to be 17. Nope. That's a lie. It's the level. My level, not the spell level. So that's going to be 20 damage.
20 damage. Okay, great.
And that does count as magical.
Okay, great.
And then my next attack.
And this is the one going after Phales. Okay, great. Go for it, sorry.
This is going to be a 14 to hit, but I'm before you tell me if I miss, I'm weighing the value of rerolling. No, I'm going to keep the 14.
Okay. So your first hit smashes through. You see a massive imprint on the armor as it kind of stumbles back. Your second one hits what seems to be a much harder armor point. Just doom.
Okay.
It gives this hollow ringing on the inside. So that was a miss.
All right, and
Unaffected.
Yeah, basically ran up, transformed mid kind of stride, turned into the Saint, and the Saint drives a powerful golden clawed hand into the metal and looks over her shoulder at Phales and says, "What is your plan?"
Kill the active one and push the others out the door and close it.
And then just a head tilt of acknowledgement. That is it.
Sweet. All of these are down. I'm gonna keep a round count. Okay, great. So that brings us to you, Rhea. Your turn.
Excellent. Only one target. Got everything going on. All right, let's see if we can blast them. That is a 17
Yep.
to hit
hits.
for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Let's do damage one at a time. That's 8. That's 13 damage on the first one.
Okay.
And we got some blasts coming out. That same thing, 18 to hit.
Yep.
Man, and it's just there. Eldritch blasts flying all over the place. And that's 5, and that's 10 10 damage.
Okay.
Radiant damage is what's coming at him.
Okay.
And you see, oh, here it comes again, and the third one is a 13 to hit.
No, that one misses. That one goes wide.
Okay. So that boom, boom, and that one was like, I got to get to a range. All right, and then I popped up to do that. I'm going to pop back down and take cover.
Okay, great. Awesome. Good turn, good damage. Oh, I just realized because the song changed. We're not in combat music. We need to fix that. Here we are. I fixed it.
Who's this combat music by?
It is by Michael Gelfi.
Michael Gelfi.
Yeah, he's glorious. They're glorious. I think it's a group.
Not,
I think it's a group of
we're not
people.
sponsored by anyone, by the way.
Yeah.
If you think that we're talking out of our asses, that's just who we are as people.
We could be.
Well, no, we
Wink.
are.
Great. So this guardian is going to go ahead and turn around to you, Erasmus, and just swing. I mean, you're the at this point only thing that has truly damaged it in melee range. It's going to go ahead and hit you with both of its hands. And I'm just going to assume that hits both of them.
AC 15.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, math. Oh no. My mortal enemy. Okay. That is 21 bludgeoning damage. As both these fists just kind of down onto your shoulders as it spins around. And you see, as it spins around, before the hands make contact, you get this visual. He's right in front of you. This suit of armor is right in front of you, and you see the actual hits that you did and the burn marks that Ryan just inflicted on it. The burn marks start to kind of wash off, like they just, and the dents just. Not all of them, but a good number of them start to kind of disappear as the armor looks more whole.
We see that, and Ryan starts looking around at the doors, realizing that we've got a very limited time before 3 more pop up, and kind of looking to see if there might be another way to escape.
Hasn't been a full round yet.
No, not yet.
That was just the end of the round.
Yeah.
So that's it ticked 1 down on the round counter. But now we go to the top.
Of my turn. Well, I guess it is the beginning of my turn. So
Yeah.
These constructs are formidable. They are repairing.
Yes. So Felice, your turn.
I guess I'll need help.
You started it.
I did. Yeah. Can I hit this fellow with a frostbite?
Yes, you certainly can.
I'm popping out behind the obsidian column.
The
All right.
pilar.
That is going to be a